Hello, I'm Tara Howard. I'm from Sayersville Grade School, and my project is Full Steam Ahead. In the fall, I presented some data. It shows that careers are going towards STEM and STEAM, and our students are not prepared for those types of careers. And so that was the reason behind doing this project. I wanted to see also how this will affect student achievement, engagement, and their career choices. Will their career choices change? Will they decide on a career? I do teach 4th and 5th math and science, so it's a little early, but I think the earlier students get started in things like these, the easier it will be, and the more time you will have to build upon those skills. Okay, so think back to your elementary, middle, and high school days. Did you understand how to apply the skills you learned? Okay, this was a question that came to my mind. Were you aware of the career possibilities that existed beyond your community? And so in the rural area, we are limited what we see our parents do, our friends, family members, and so I wanted to expose students to other careers. Were you aware of the gender bias related to subject matter and career possibilities? Have you ever heard, oh, well, that is more for a boy, or that is more for a girl to do that type of career, and so I wanted to address that as well. Okay, and this is another reason. We live in an area, our school is a Title I school, high poverty, and so this quote, I believe deeply in education because in my heart I know it has the power to disrupt poverty and change the destiny of a family in just one generation. And I believe in that. I believe that we can change the lives of our children. And this was a question I took from one of my textbooks, Envision. Envision is great, we live in Vision, but it says Michael's family lives at 450 Oak Street. What is the expanded form? So they're not really getting anything from that. They're not really applying. And so I'm hoping to apply the skills they learn. Let's make it relevant. We want them talking. We want them to develop emotional skills. I found another study that says that that is one of the things employers are now looking for, being able to collaborate, being able to work together as a team. And so we want our students early on to not just focus on the cognitive skills, but also those skills that will help them work together with one another. And it also helps with leadership, confidence, just like what I'm doing right now. I wish I'd had more exposure. I don't feel very confident right now, but we want to start the students out early. And like I said, we want these opportunities to be available, and we want both male and female to feel like they can shatter their own glass ceiling. We want all students to be able to do that. And so it's important to start that early. The research shows that there are a few differences in the brain, how we're wired between male and female, and it brought to my attention why are there so many more males in STEAM careers? And so I made a wall, and you can't see it very well, but we have chosen careers, and those students have been researching and presenting those to the class. And so, and I've noticed as we've been presenting, some students are now changing their mind, their goals. They are leaning more towards STEM and STEAM careers. And so, as Steve Jobs says, a lot of times people don't know what they want until you show it to them. And they are not exposed to these practices like coding, computer programming, until you show them. And then I've noticed the change in them. So what did I purchase? I got a grant for $1,000. Instead of focusing on one item, I decided to buy several different items and use those in groups. And that way, students, I could see how they interact with the items I purchased and what seems to be the most beneficial, what they enjoy the most. And I can always go back a little at a time and buy extra. So I thought I would try a bunch of different things out. So we got a computer building kit. They actually built their own computer. They've been programming it. They have been doing Minecraft on it, working with area, perimeter, and volume. We also bought a 3D pen. I think one of my girls has the 3D pen. I Googled and I checked for safety because I know these things can get pretty hot. And this one, actually, it stays cool to the touch. So it's an excellent buy. It works really well, and no safety issues there. We bought a Sphero Spark, and that is what the girls will be using today in just a minute. They actually, we were incorporating art. That's the difference between STEM and STEAM is the arts. And so these girls enjoy dance, and they programmed their Sphero to teach ballroom dance, and they will be showing you the basic ballroom dance in just a minute. Also, Breakout Education. We've been working with that. The last breakout they did was with Order of Operations. I purchased the kit separate from the grant money to have some lesson plans to go along with it. The Lego We Do, the students created this robot, and I didn't bring the iPad with the app, but it actually, they have created music to go along with it while it moves. It does a lot of cool things. And they've made more than just this one. They've made several at this point, but they really enjoy that. A drone. Now, I also searched for a kid-friendly drone. And I have to say, I thought I would be so good at flying this. Our first flight was a disaster. It is very durable, and it has a camera, and so we can take video and do aerial photography. We can use that to do portraits. We can check out ecosystems, and so there are a lot of things that we can do with our drone. And a Connects geometry kit. A selfie scope, we can put our phones in that, and it's a microscope, as well, you know. Lego blocks for a Lego wall. And so what I wanted to look at was the achievement, engagement, and career aspirations. And the data shows that this is, I actually took data from the STEAM class and 2 other classes. And in the STEAM class, they outperformed in growth according to their iReady scores. They outperformed the other 2 classes. Also, the high scale score was taken from the high scale score for an individual was taken from the STEAM class as well. And I compared that with students from the other 2 classes, and both scores were higher. And so students reported having increased enjoyment after receiving grant items. 90% reported having a better understanding of content standards. Behavioral, 50% of class reported they put forth more effort than they previously did, and 2/3 of the class reported that they want to attend school regularly to participate in class activities. And I can say attendance has been better in that class that I worked with. Nearly 40% of students changed their interest to STEM careers or decided on having one. And the female students in this class were the vast majority of that increase. And so they're using the Sphero and the picture on the left to do ballroom dance, and on the right, we're working on angles. That's our Lego wall. We do a lot of building and designing with that. In those pictures, they're using the computer building kit, and they're programming. And we were getting started with a 3D pen, and 2 of our projects, they started out really simple. We did an Andy Warhol. They used the 3D pen to recreate something that was similar to an Andy Warhol. And the picture on the right, they're doing 3D Starry Night. And those are the Connects. They started out just doing angles and shapes, but then on the right, they actually were trying to create a wind tunnel. So they were using inquiry. This picture is the Lego We Do. I actually had video, but I was afraid it wouldn't work. I've had some trouble in the past with that. So they use the app on the iPad, and the robots move. They play music. The colors change. It's really neat. And there's our drone. We did get it going, and we're still perfecting that. So I stay with the students. They get to fly it as well, but I stand close by because I know how to bring it down. If all else fails, I'm not very good at flying it, but I can bring it down. And so a final thought, if we teach today as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow. And so that's the goal. We want to prepare our students for tomorrow. So this is
Abigail.
Addison. Katie.
And they are going to show you what Sphero does. And you girls can come up in the middle. Okay. They're going to get it going. Can you get it to do the dance? We've lost Sphero. And so what they did with this is they got it going, and they actually had students follow along. They had students follow along, and they would do the steps along with Sphero, and they would time it. And so they worked on timing and all of those things with Sphero. Finished. It really is. I've watched them do this. They are excellent.